your guide from Maasai Mara National Reserve today. And actually, unfortunately, it's a virtual game drive, but I believe one day, one time, after this pandemic, we will actually be able to meet and do the real thing. So today we are going to Maasai Mara National Reserve. That is actually, I want to start from Nairobi, the Jomo Kenyatta. So my name is Lenny Koshal. Yes, I'm a silver level guide under Kenya Professional Safari Guides Association. So we start from Nairobi International Airport. That is Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, whereby it is around 280 kilometers from Nairobi to the entrance of Maasai Mara National Reserve. So the roads to Maasai Mara, if you are traveling by road, are now very good. It can actually take you now maximum 5 hours, but I can say less than 5 hours, maybe 4.5. And this is actually because the road is asphalt. It is all paved all the way from Nairobi to the entrance gate of Maasai Mara, that is Sekenani Gate. And actually, this park of Maasai Mara National Reserve was actually established in 1961. And actually, it started as a small conservation area with only 520 square kilometers. So it was very, very small. Yeah.
Lenny, some guests are there. Can you check and admit if you know them?
Yes, I know all of them. So it can actually take you, it was actually started from 1961 with only 520 kilometers square. That is actually includes the Mara Triangle and the main Maasai Mara, whereby we will see the pictures later, the map later. And then the park in the same year, it was actually extended to be 1,824 square kilometers. So that is the same year the park extended to be a bit more bigger, whereby the land taken from the Maasai community. And then again in 1974, around 189 kilometers square was returned to the Maasai people so that they can actually be able to get room for their wildlife and to graze their animals and all that. Then another thing is in 1976, another 162 kilometers square again was given to the Maasai community. Then now in 1984, the park actually retained the current size it has now, which is around 1,510 square kilometers. That is actually the size that was retained. And then now in 1974, the main Maasai Mara National Reserve and the Mara Triangle was actually divided, or they created the boundaries by using the Mara River, whereby the western side of the Mara River is where the Mara Triangle is. That was by then under it was under a county, it was under a county council management of that side of the Mara River. And then again in the main Mara is under Narok County, Narok County Council by then, because now we have counties. And then in 2001, the Mara Triangle was actually, the management was taken over by the Mara Conservancies from the Kilgoris County Council. So it actually was taken by the Mara Conservancy that are actually managing the place by now. And then just going to share the map of the Maasai Mara National Reserve. So this is actually the map of the whole Mara and the Serengeti ecosystem. I just want to share. So let's see. So I just want to share the map of Maasai Mara National Reserve so that actually you can be able to see what I mean when I say the Mara Triangle. Yes, I'm getting a problem. Yeah, so this is the map of Maasai Mara National Reserve. As you can see, it's a very, very big park. So the Mara River actually go across the park, whereby you can see my mouse. This is actually the Mara River, whereby the Mara Triangle is in the western side of Maasai Mara or Mara River, and the main Mara is actually in the eastern side of the Mara River. So this part of the Mara was taken, or is the Mara Triangle Conservancy at the moment. And then we also have the Mara Serengeti ecosystem. This is actually the Kenyan side. As you can see, the black line is actually the boundary of Maasai Mara and Serengeti. So Serengeti is very big. It's around 14,000 square kilometers compared to Maasai Mara, which is around 1,510 square kilometers. So Serengeti National Park in Tanzania is very, very, very huge. And then also in the Mara area, we have a lot of conservancies. That includes Koyaki Conservancy. Koyaki Conservancy is actually around the Mara ecosystem, whereby a lot of animals migrate at a time like this when the grass are very high. We also have Siana Conservancy, Olaro Conservancy, Olaroro Conservancy. We have Nasholai Conservancy. We also have the Olderkesi Conservancy, Orkinyei, Olarorok, Oljoro Conservancy. So all these conservancies actually help when it comes to animals that are found in the Mara ecosystem, because they can actually be able to see, or they can actually be able to move from one place to another when there is food scarcity in one place. Then we actually have the meaning of the Maasai Mara National Reserve. The name comes from the community that live around the park, and also that is the Maasai people. That is where the name Maasai comes from. And then Mara, the Maasai Mara is the landscape is made of big plains, which have some small bushes. If you can see from my picture in my screen, you can see some small bushes at a distance that actually looks like spots. So that is what the Maasai call Mara. It's a small croton bushes that looks like dots or small spots at a distance. Also, when you go like to the Mara Triangle side, you will actually be able to see a lot of desert dirt trees. These trees are the ones that are called desert dirt. And actually, when you go to the western side of the Mara Triangle, you will see a lot of them, and they look like small dots at a distance or at high elevation. So that is actually the meaning of Mara. So the Maasai is us, the community, and Mara is the spots. And then we have the big five in the park. That is one of the reasons why people go to Maasai Mara National Reserve. So number one of the big five I'm showing you is the leopard. So you can actually be able to get a lot of pictures or see the leopard in all postures that you want to take a picture. And then We also have elephants as another one of the big five. And then also we have the lions as one of the other big five. Biju, if you can hear me, please you can accept the other people because it's difficult for me to multitask, please.
Okay, no issues. Okay.
Yeah, because it is even making the screen to hang. So.
Okay, no issues.
Yeah. Oh, just a minute. It's actually hanging. Sorry. So we also have the lions, and then we have the black rhinos. Those are the mainly the one that you can get in Maasai Mara National Reserve. We don't have the white rhinos. Yes, the plains are there, but the place is not fenced. So these white rhinos, because of they are very social, they are not aggressive like these other animals. It is impossible to bring them there, but we have them in one of the conservancies called Lenny Conservancy. So we have some of them with KWS rangers 24/7. They are monitoring them all the time. We also have the buffaloes as one of the big five. And then now we go to the Maasai community. We have the Maasai people around the area whereby people, our clients, when they come there, they can actually visit the Maasai village and see the life, how the Maasai people live, whereby they have small huts. They also dance for our clients. And also they make fire without using matchboxes or anything. So they just use, they have some sticks to make fire that they can actually use them when they are out in the bushes migrating from one place to another, because they are pastoralists. So people visit the area and see the Maasai culture, because these are the people you can find around the park. And then we also now have what is called the annual wildebeest migration that actually happen every year. That is from Serengeti to Maasai Mara National Reserve. These two parks is actually one ecosystem. And for sure, these animals, they actually don't know they have crossed the border from Tanzania to Maasai Mara or to Kenya side, but actually they are moving freely without any restrictions. And the reason why these animals migrate, it is because of food. They need food, whereby when they go to Serengeti for longer time, because they are in Maasai Mara for 3-4 months, then they go to Serengeti for the rest of the year, they normally come to get food, because the park of Maasai Mara now, because the residence animals are very few, and most of the time when the grass are high, they move to the neighboring conservancies, the one that I've just told you, or sometimes to go to the later plains that is much far from Maasai Mara National Reserve. So these wildebeests have to come to Maasai Mara to get some food. Then another reason is most of the time during the month of June, July, August, this is the mating season for the wildebeest. So the moment they start to approach the northern Serengeti up to Maasai Mara National Reserve, this is the time a lot of mating is taking place. And by that time, the wildebeests are in Maasai Mara, some are pregnant. And when they go to Serengeti, down to Ntutu in the month of March and April or February, that is the time they actually give birth. So I just want to show you the map of migratory or the migration route for the wildebeest. As you can see, the black line is actually the boundary of Maasai Mara National Reserve and Serengeti National Park. So Masai Mara is actually on the right side of the black line, and Serengeti, you can see, is the big one. So actually the wildebeest, they normally arrive to Masai Mara in different months. They can come even as early as June. As you can see in this map, June wildebeest are supposed to be in Gurumeti, but things are changing due to availability of food in these two places, or actually things are changing on wildebeest migration because of the rain season. For example, last year, before last year, the wildebeest actually arrived in Masai Mara in mid-May, of which they are supposed to be in the western side of Serengeti National Park. And this is because when there is no much rain in Serengeti National Reserve, whereby the wildebeest can stay for longer and follow the normal route, that is from south down to eastern side, because in this area where you can see my mouse, between February and January, this is where you hear people saying Ndutu Plains. This is where Ndutu Plain is, whereby calving takes place. A lot of wildebeest, thousands of them give birth, and actually they raise their calf in this area because this area has less predators, and at the same time it is very, very open plains, and this calf can be able to grow without being killed or without dying in large numbers because of natural difficulties like moving a lot or going through hills or mountains or rivers. So there is no any river here. It is very small rivers that are found in this side of the Serengeti National Reserve. And also there are some swamp in this side of the place. And the number of predators, it's not that much compared to central Serengeti or to the north towards Masai Mara National Reserve. So most of the time you find in the month of June, July, this is the time the wildebeest actually move to Masai Mara National Reserve. But as we speak, it is in the month of June. We are going to July in 3 days to come. And the wildebeest we have in Masai Mara National Reserve are the resident wildebeest. These are the wildebeest that come from the conservancies that I actually told you before, or even outside the conservancies to places like Loita Plains, which is a bit like almost 50 to 60 kilometers away from the main reserve. So those are the wildebeest we have at the moment. But when you go to western side of Masai Mara, there are some small group of wildebeest that have been seen mid this month, but very, very few individuals. That is from the Mara Triangle side. They actually came from the western side of Serengeti, northwest, towards Masai Mara, Mara Triangle, not far from Olololo escarpment. So we actually believe by mid next month, we will have some wildebeest that have arrived in Masai Mara National Reserve. So the reason why they have actually taken long to come this year, it is because we have been having a lot of rain in both sides, that is in Serengeti and Masai Mara. So there is plenty of food in these two places. So wildebeest are not in a hurry to go and find food on the other side. So what you can see in this picture, you can actually see there are different colors for the arrows, whereby you see like the pink, this arrow, it is going south, and then again they go up to Loliondo area. This is actually can describe to us to what I'm just telling you, that it all depends on the availability of food or the rain, because sometimes it rains in the Kenyan side or in Loliondo side, and it is not raining in central Serengeti or even to the western side of Serengeti, whereby Lake Victoria, it's not very far, it's not far. So there's a very, very big water body in the area. So when it is not raining in central Serengeti and it rains, for example, in the eastern side, the wildebeest can actually move back to eastern side of Serengeti to get green lash for the calves, because it is definitely in this area whereby you can see Lake Ndutu. This is where you can be able to do, or be able to see a lot of calving taking place in Serengeti National Reserve. That is in the month of February, or even sometime from late January, February, and March. So it can go up to April, but by then the wildebeest will be moving towards southern Serengeti or to central Serengeti as they move towards River Grumeti. So when it comes to migration, this wildebeest, they actually have to give time the calves to grow so that they can be able to cross two rivers, which are big challenge to this wildebeest migration. River number one is River Grumeti, where you can see my mouse is. This river actually got a lot of rivers that brings the water to this place, whereby they drains the water to Lake Victoria in the north or in the western side of Serengeti National Park. So this river is one of the challenge to this wildebeest. So that's why they try to keep some time so that calves can be able to cross this river. We also have the Mara River. When it comes, for example, if they go to Maasai Mara from the Mara Triangle, they have to cross the Mara River twice. They have to cross in Serengeti side, and then number two, they have to cross inside Maasai Mara, whereby they cross the river from Mara Triangle Conservancy to the main Maasai Mara National Reserve. So those are the two rivers that actually give a big challenge to this when it comes to migration. So this is actually what happened. This is what people see. This is how the crossing happened. As you can actually hear a lot of noise taking place. As a guide or as a client, the moment you hear that noise, it actually makes you to feel, yes, you're seeing the real migration. So this is actually what happened when it comes to wildebeest migration. It is a very, very big task, whereby if the calves are very small, they can actually be swept away by the water that is flowing. As you can see, the wildebeest have to jump so that they can be able to cross the river. Also, this place has crocodiles, whereby they kill this wildebeest, and at the same time, the hippos are there, though they cannot be able to kill them because they are herbivores, but sometimes the wildebeest get scared. Then also, when the wildebeest come from, let me just take you back to this map. When the wildebeest come from this side, instead of coming from the northeast of Serengeti to Mara Triangle, sometimes they decide to do opposite and actually cross the Sand River. So they cannot be able to cross the Grumeti River. So they can come to Loliondo side. Then after Loliondo, they can actually cross Grumeti, but not a lot of water compared to the western side, because a lot of rivers that takes water to the Grumeti on the western side. So it is a bit small challenge when they cross in this side and go through Sand River and actually come through almost southeast of Maasai Mara National Reserve. So this video is actually the wildebeest. They are actually crossing from Sand River side. Now this side is Serengeti National Reserve, and the other side they are coming is Maasai Mara National Reserve. And actually, this is what happened. You see the water is very small, so it is a small risk because there is no crocodiles. If the crocodiles are there, we don't even have crocodiles in this river. I've never seen them most of the time. And also, the only challenge they have is lions. Like, for example, when yes, what happened is when these wildebeest crossing, they tried to cross, but there were some lions on the other side of the river, that is in the Kenyan side. So what happened, if there is anything that disturbs them like a cat, definitely they have like to go back to where they are coming from. Or if, for example, there is a incoming car, there is a car that is coming, they also have like to get or to stop and see what is going on. And actually, this is one of the picture or kind of videos that you get from the Sun River side. And Tina, thank you for joining. I actually took this picture when I was in a safari with you. The person talking was you. Thank you so much. And then also you can see in the plains of the Mara, though the picture is not very clear, the wildebeest are actually moving in big lines. That is how they move from one place to another around the whole park. You see they are all scattered in the whole place. Then we also had very, very unique zebra last year. This zebra is called Tira. The reason why they called Tira because there was a guy called Jonathan Tira. He was the one that spotted this little zebra for the first time. And actually we named after him because he was the first person to sight it. And actually there is a very, very unique zebra. As you can see, instead of having stripes, it is actually almost black in the whole body with small white spots. So for last time we actually discussed if the zebras are black with white stripes or white with black stripes. So I did a lot of research on what the scientists are doing in the laboratories, and they found the zebras are black with white stripes. And actually now you can actually tell, though this zebra, we can say it's a genetic thing, but it is actually black, so I can say it is supporting my answer. So we are expecting this zebra to come back this year if she's not dead on the Serengeti side. So hopefully she'll be back. And then that is still her. And then we have a lot of predators like lions, cheetahs, leopards, hyenas. Everyone is always waiting for this wildebeest to come so that they can celebrate as food. So this is the famous 5 cheetahs. We call them Tanobora. They are still alive. So hopefully after this corona, you guys can actually be able to come, and we cross fingers. They will all still be there. It is a very, very good picture of them to take and all that. So this is still another picture of wildebeest crossing the river. It's very challenging when it comes to crossing. There is lions, crocodiles, hyenas waiting for them and all that. So when it comes to mating season, you can see this wildebeest moving, and you see some are running. They are restless. This is actually the male. The male normally run as they try to get female to mate with. Actually, they don't have specific females to do mating with, like lions, for example, whereby they stick with one. For this wildebeest, they just run. If they get a female that they try to sniff, if she's in heat, they just mount on her. So they don't actually follow one female for a long time. So they can just do randomly. That is random mating. And also they run all the time because the male fight with each other. So they also try to fight to seek for dominancy. So that's why during migration, the wildebeests are always running They make a lot of noise. It's too much noise they make. So you can sometimes even block on your ears when you are listening them. So that is the noise they make. Yeah, so that is what happened when it comes to mating for the wildebeest. And then also in the morning hours, you can actually be able to get some good pictures. That is during sunrise. As you can see this video, I actually took it during sunrise. So you can also get very, very good videos, not even pictures only, because the Mara plains are so beautiful. They are flat. So you can just get a small place whereby you can get any kind of picture that you want to take. So that's why we say Maasai Mara is the heart of Kenya, because it is the best of the national parks we have in the country. Then again, it's another migration picture. This video is actually the wildebeest who are crossing from the main Mara to the Mara Triangle. So they go from one side to the other, searching for food, because both places, they actually have food, a lot of grass. So they actually have to move from one side to other and then coming back. They don't move like once and that is it. They move, they go to the other side and then they come back to the main Mara, Mara Triangle, main Mara, and all that. Even they can cross Sand River to go to the Serengeti side and come back maybe after some days and all that. So that's all. And then when it comes to predation, we have a lot of predators that are all waiting for this wildebeest to get food. For example, we have these crocodiles. These crocodiles are actually feasting on a zebra. This zebra they catch when he or she was trying to cross the river. And actually, the crocodiles you can see are called Nile crocodile. Nile crocodile are the one that are found in Maasai Mara National Reserve. And then actually you can get up to 5 meters long. That is the longest Nile crocodile that researchers have ever got in the area. So they are very, very long. And also they weigh between 500 to 700, even to 1,000 kgs. And then most of the time, male crocodiles are actually territorial. They have territories. And then most of the time, when it comes to basking or when it comes to food, the crocodiles have a hierarchy whereby the biggest male is always the one that take best places for basking. And at the same time, these big male crocodile are the one always try to take to eat first when they make the kill. The crocodiles also have very, very good eyesight. They see very, very well, whereby sometimes when the wildebeest or the migration is not there, or when they fish, because they also fish, they eat fish when they are not there, they can actually walk to the land sometimes at night and hunt. They can actually be able to see at night, so they camouflage with the animals and kill. But a big number you find, they also sleep at night. They also have very, very good hearing, and also they have taste. They also have taste. Then when it comes to female crocodile, I just want to give you some information about crocodile. Very, very impressive animal. When the female lay the eggs, they normally dig on the river banks and lay the eggs there. They cover with their sand, and then actually that is to try to hide from predators. Like even the monitor lizard, they do eat crocodiles' eggs. So they actually lay between 30 to 50 eggs in one hole. And temperatures, during incubation actually determine the sex of the crocodile, because the hatchlings, I mean, because when the temperatures are high, the number of female that will be hatch is smaller than the number of male. So when the temperatures are high, the number of male will be more higher compared to female. So it is definitely the temperatures that determine the sex of the hatchling. And then the moment the young crocodiles are hatched, the mother normally doesn't feed them. They actually depend on themselves, whereby they have to kill small frogs, they have to kill small insects, and also they kill some small fish. And this is what they eat as food. Because the moment they are hatched, the mother put them inside the mouth completely and take them to the river banks or inside the river, so that they can be able to catch some small food for themselves. And then also sometimes when it comes to swimming, the crocodile swim in the water and they move very, very fast. They can even go up to 30 kilometers per hour swimming inside the water. And then also they can hold the breath for 2 hours. That is for crocodile. They hold the breath for 2 hours. So that is why they are one of the most big predators, or they are very, very good hunters when you go close to the water or when it comes to hunting, because they have a lot of patience. They have to wait for a long time before they actually get their target. And then, so the reason why these crocodiles can hold the breath for that long, it is actually because the level of the lactic acid in their blood is very high. So they can actually be able to use that, whereby this lactic acid provide energy in the red blood cells and the white blood cells, and therefore they can actually be able to stay long inside the water. Then when it comes hunting, as you can see for this zebra, they normally they rely on movement, whereby they can be able to hear movement of animals coming. For example, when these wildebeests are crossing the river, if the crocodiles were around in the banks or even inside the water, they can actually rely on that movement. There is a lot of commotion coming from land or inside the water. And also there is that pressure sense. They can actually be able to sense through the pressure. Excuse me. And then they also have a lot of, they also can stay long time without food, whereby most of the time for the crocodiles of Maasai Mara River actually, mostly they rely on this wildebeest migration for them to get very, very large quantity of food. But they can stay for 6 months without food. This is actually because they have ectothermic metabolic. They have ectothermic metabolism, whereby it allows them to survive in the long without food, whereby they can use the fats in their body, and also they stop unnecessary movement to reserve energy in their bodies, so that they can be able to wait for long without food. Then remember, they also do fishing. Even sometime when there is fish migration in some rivers, they can be able to sense or hear the movement of those fish coming, or even they can be able to know the season of fish migration if they migrate, when they migrate, and they put themselves in a circle so that they can actually be able to block those fish and eat. And most of the time when the animals go and drink water, they also take advantage and ambush them. So that is all about the crocodile. And then the next thing today, we also have lions. When the wildebeest migrate, the lions also take advantage and ambush these wildebeest when they are trying to cross the rivers. That is Mara River, Sand River, and small other rivers inside the reserve. Anywhere they try to cross, the wildebeest take advantage and feed on them, the lions. And actually, this picture, the video, I took it at Sand River. As you can see, the water level is very low. And this kill happened when the wildebeest were crossing the Sand River from Maasai Mara side to the Serengeti side. Then also we have the cheetahs. The cheetahs also rely a lot, sometimes on migration when it comes to hunting. You see these 5 cheetahs actually were hunting a very, very fully grown up wildebeest. It is a very, very strong force whereby they form a coalition as male, whereby it is mostly the male wildebeest that form coalition and actually protect themselves against the enemies, that is other cheetahs. And also they become strong because they get food frequently, because they can be able to hunt even big prey. These 5 cheetahs, there was a time they actually hunted an eland. An eland is the biggest antelope we have in East Africa. So these 5 cheetahs actually brought down a fully grown calf of an eland. And also remember, the elands are the most shy of all antelopes, and also they are very, very strong. So you can imagine a cheetah bringing down an eland. So they are very, very strong, though they are becoming a bit old. As the video I saw 2 days ago, I think it is 2 days ago or 1 day ago, these 5 cheetahs were hunting one wildebeest. It was actually around 3-4 wildebeest. They tried to isolate one to hunt, but the other one came to defend one of their own. And these cheetahs were 100% challenged, and the wildebeest actually went away. So they escaped death by these cheetahs. It's one of the guides that shared the live video from the park. So these are 5 cheetahs. Then also we have the leopards. Leopards also take advantage of these wildebeest while crossing the rivers and kill the size that they can actually be able to kill. As you can see, this leopard, her name is Luluka. I shared a lot of her pictures recently. She actually brought down a young wildebeest that is in a place, it's a small stream called Orkejoronkai. It actually goes through the middle of Maasai Mara National Reserve. So they were crossing, and then she came from nowhere. I was not aware that Luluka was around. So we had a chance to see that kill of a leopard that day. Then when it comes to lions, we are actually going to discuss lions as one of the big 5 of the day, because in Amboseli, that is our first station, we discuss about an elephant as one of the big 5. When we did our game drive in Lake Nakuru and Samburu National Reserve, we discussed about rhinos, buffaloes, and also the leopard. So the only remaining king of jungle is the lion. So today it's our day to discuss about the lion. So lions, they actually live 12 to 15 years, but up to 20 years in captivity. But today, we are not talking about wildlife in captivity, but we are talking about the real life of lions in the jungle. So the lions live 12 to 15 years. That is the lifespan of these lions in the wild. And then also the fully grown up male can weigh between 190 kgs to 230 kgs or even to 250 kgs. They actually depend on the availability of food that can make the lions to gain a lot of muscles, and also the genetic or the genes of the lions. Also, they have a gestation period, that is pregnancy period of 110 days. And then when it comes to mating of lions, as you can see from this picture, there is actually something that is almost to happen, which means this female is actually on heat. So what normally happen, the female become very hyper, very hyper. They are in on heat, in very high temperature, whereby they can actually be able to show some signs that they are on heat. They can actually start to do some calling. There is a special call they make, whereby the male lion can actually be able to know that female is on heat. They also try to mark or to do scent marking. That is, they urinate on the small trees or even on other places or on the ground, and then they try to scrap the urine, whereby when they scrapped it, like to cover it with the soil, they are like trying to mix and step on it. And the moment she step on it, that urine remains on the feet. Therefore, whenever they move, they leave the scent in all the places that they go, so that the male can actually be able to know. They also do some rolling. They roll. So synonymously all the time. That is also another sign of the female being on the heat. And then she always tried to attract the male, that is the local male, a male of that pride, because the lions are always in pride. A group of lions we call a pride. So she might actually be able, she attract one male that who is actually try to complete the feeling of the female before the other male realize. So we always have those male that always try to be the first one to respond on the mating of the female. So when it happens, the male actually have to sniff on the urine or the scene marking by the female, and that this is what happened. So when you see the lion doing like this, they actually sniff on the urine and they do this one. What he's doing is called the grimace. Grimace is a process whereby the male is always trying to read or to read the urine or the feeling of the female if she is on heat or not. So this one is actually called grimace. And then also when it comes to mating, this is actually how the lions met. The female she sit down while the front legs are always straight. And actually, when they are mating, they always make a lot of sound, a lot of roar. It is somehow for intimidation between the two parties, because the male's penis actually have some small spikes, whereby when the male penetrate on the female, it is very, very painful. So what happened, the female produce a lot of noise and the male at the same time, but the male tried to bite on the neck of the female's neck to reduce that amount of that commotion, or to reduce movement, just like the domestic cat at home, whereby if a female have cubs, she always hold on the neck so that she can be able to carry them. So when the cats hold each other on the neck, it always try to reduce any kind of movement that is happening on that cat. So this male actually bite on the necks of the female so that the all muscles of the female relax. So when it relax, even the vaginal muscles actually relax, and the male can be able to get out. So when he gets out, the female, you see in the picture, this female is actually like showing also the teeth to the male, and the male is doing that at the same time. So the male is coming out, so you already leave the neck, so you also have to show this aggressive face to the female. And then now this is what happened. The female have to roll so that it can be able to ovulate. And at the same time, the male come out with a different face. This is a very, very scary face sometimes, because he also have to defend himself from being scratched or attacked by the female, whereby most of the time after the lions do mating, which actually take between 4 to 7 days, you find that male has a lot of scratch on the nose side, or even on the face or on the legs. This actually show there was a big fight with the female when actually the copulation finished. And then the gestation period is 110 days. And when these young cubs are born, it is now the responsibility of the world pride to make sure these cubs survive. So the pride is made up of females, young ones, and males. So for the pride to be bigger, it actually have to have a lot of protection that is on the female side being helped by the male. But most of the time, the male try to isolate themselves from the females. So a lot of responsibilities for taking care of the cubs remain on the female side. But if there is any intruders that are coming to the pride, the male are always there to help, because the lion territory is up to 16 kilometers. So when these cubs are born, the female cub, they are always not in trouble. What is in trouble is the young cubs, the young male cubs, whereby when they reach an age of 2 to 2.5 years, as you can see on that picture, the eye that this male from the victory pride called Kaka, he is looking at this young son of him. It is time for this young male to move out of the pride or out of this territory because of two main reasons. Number one, competition of food with this big male. Number two, competition of female with this big male. So that is actually at the age of 2 to 2.5 years. And that is the same time this young male starts to grow the men. They start to grow the men. Therefore, now they start to be chased out of the pride. When they get chased out of the pride, they actually go with a lot of injuries. As you can see, this young male lion, he got the injury from the big male while fighting when he was being chased out of the pride to go and form his own pride or get his own territory. So this young male actually moved out of the pride, and they try to come together as brothers of the same pride, or even as neighbors of different prides. So when this young male meet to form what is called a coalition, they have to fight to death, whereby it will be survival for the fittest. When this male fight, they fight so that they can actually be able to get the hierarchy, that is actually like to get the dominant male out of them in that order. So when fighting, that is now the time they can actually be able to decide, now we can form a pride, or we can form a coalition. When they form a coalition, now they have to go together as young male and try to get a territory. So what happens when young male are forming a territory? They normally go to other places. If they get female, they do mating with them so that they can get cubs. Number two, if these female have young ones, they make sure they kill the young ones for two reasons. Number two, they believe the genes of those cubs are stronger than theirs. So when they grow up, they will actually be defeated. So it's like a battle awaiting. So they have to terrorize them or to kill them. So there is no battle awaiting. Number two, they have to kill these cubs so that they bring the female into oestrus, into heat. Because when the female has cubs, definitely she won't be on heat to do mating with this male. But the moment the cubs get killed, she will be on heat because she wants to get the cubs. So those are the two reasons why you see this young male or any male lion killing young cubs. That is for those two reasons: territory, the battle that is awaiting, and also to do mating with the female. Then after that, now when they take over the territory, now they take in charge. If there is a big male, they make sure they fight with him and chase him away and take over. But also, they can kill for themselves before they get to their pride, whereby they can get female who can frequently hunt for them. They can also hunt for themselves because they have to survive. They have to be ready for the fight with other males. So they have to get energy and to get their body big. Then when it comes to fully grown up males, they have big males, whereby in some lions, it becomes dark as per when the lions grow. The moment the lions grow by age, the men also become darker. But it depends on the genes. Not all of them can actually get very, very dark men. For example, we have one of the big male called Gremais. He was the son of Notch, whereby most of the guide I know they're in the group, and some of you that have been in Maasai Mara, you might have heard about the Notch boys. So this male called Gremais, he actually didn't have the black men. He had like an orange man. Like for example, on the cheek of Scarface, this is Scarface. So this was the color of the old man of Gremais. So many people confuse if they can use the men to determine the age of the lion, of which it is difficult to use the men to age the lion, because when you go to dry areas like Tsavo National Parks or Samburu National Reserve, you find most of the men, they don't grow 100% big men like the male lions of Maasai Mara. This is because in hot areas, the moment they grow big men, they can actually sweat and attract bacteria. So they try to reduce the amount of men. So that is another reason why you can't use the men to age the lion. Number two, for example, lions of Maasai Mara, they have very, very big men because the area is not very hot, it's just moderate. Just for example, if you take this lion, for example, to Europe or America or places or even Russia, places that are very, very cold, they actually develop massive men because they have to, it grows more in more colder areas. So the more cold the cold area is, the much the men broaden or grow. So these men actually protect the lions when they are fighting to defend their territory. So it protects their neck and throat. So you can actually use the nose. As you can see my mouse, you use the nose to determine the age of the lion, whereby when the lion is young, that is actually when the young lion is from birth to 2.5 to 3 years, the man, the nose is always pink. As you can see from the picture of this young male, or even this one, you can see some pink nose, whereby it is pink up to 3 years, and then even 3.5. Then when it comes to 3.5 up to even 6.5 to 7 years, the color of the nose gets two colors. That is pink with some black dots, as you can see from this male, with some black dots. So when it comes from 8 years and above, the nose turns to black. As you can see from the nose of Scarface, you see the nose is black because Scarface is more than 8 years. He's an old man. So the nose is fully black.
Yes.
Also, you can see the nose of this other young lion. This lion is actually from the bush pride. And actually you see the nose is of two colors. That is pink with some black dots.
Wow.
So these black dots can actually be able to give
It
you
was not meant for me.
the color of, they can actually give you the age of this lion. So this male is probably between 5, 6 to 7 years old. And then also big males form coalitions because the age is going. They form coalition when they are young, and actually they try to maintain that coalition up to last breath. This is because the moment the lions grow older, they actually need strong force so that they can be able to protect themselves from the young male. So that is why you see Scarface and this other male. They are actually 4 in numbers. We call them musketeers, lions. So they actually started this their coalition when they are young up to this age. Then also that is still Scarface. And then when it comes to sleeping hours, the lions are always the laziest of all the cats. This is because they sleep between 16 to 20 hours a day. And they can even sleep more than that when they are full. The reason why they sleep more when they are full, it is because the digestive system of most of the cats is very small, it's very slow. So that's why they sleep for long hours. So they can only be going to the rivers to drink water. Then you can also see the kind of bush this lion is sleeping at. It is called the croton tree, the orange-leaved croton tree. Most of the cats, they sleep on these bushes in Maasai Mara. This is because when they rub themselves on these bushes, it produces a certain kind of smell that actually they use as a self-defense mechanism, or they use as a repellent to keep away the insects, like flies. As you know, most of the cats, even the dogs at home, they have a lot of flies. So the lions in the wild, they use this yellow orange leaf croton tree to actually prevent themselves from flies disturbance. So that's why you find most of the time lions sleeping on the croton trees, or sometimes you find lions climbing trees to reduce the number of flies that are actually moving in their face. whereby in places like Nakuru National Park, lions climb trees because they want to protect themselves due to the large number of buffaloes. So when it comes to Masai Mara, they climb trees because of flies, mostly during migration. The wildebeest come with a lot of flies, and these cats have to prevent themselves from that big number of flies. And then the lions also mark territory. As what you can see in this male, he's shaking the man. The first thing he did when he came to this tree, he rubbed himself, the man on the tree. The reason why they do this, they actually do marking territory or leaving a scent, whereby when they rub themselves on the tree, this tree has some a lot of branches whereby some men fur or hair will be left behind in that tree. So when another lion comes, he can actually be able to smell that single or many hair that were left by that lion when he marked there. Number two, you see his tail is up. He's actually spraying on the tree to leave the scent for the same reason, to mark territory. So that is two ways where lions mark territory. And in another hand, they also spray on the ground and try to scratch or step on the urine, whereby they leave some wet mud in their feet. And when they move, they always leave something on the ground, whereby when other lions come, they can actually be able to get the scent and know that this area has the owner. So that is why the lions mark territory. Then when it comes to hunting, most of the people say mostly it is the female lioness that do the hunting. It is true, but not 100%. As you have seen on the other picture, young male killed and feeding. So the female do a big percentage of hunting for their pride because they are less masculine, so they can actually be able to streamline or run faster when they are hunting compared to the male lions who are much muscles builders, and they are very heavy, they cannot be able to run, for example, to hunt on fast animals like wildebeest or zebras. But actually males also can hunt wildebeest, zebra, or even tortoise, but they have to use a lot of, they have to stalk so that they can ambush. The lioness also ambush because the lion can run up to 80 kilometers per hour, but very, very short distance. So they have to make sure the target is there and they have to do it very fast. So they, most of the time they jump on the animal, as you can see. And this, most of the cats, that is the lion, leopards, the claws are always inside when they are running, but the moment they jump on the animal, the claws come out so that they can be able to use for attack. Then they normally jump on the animal, like to use a lot of force to make sure they put the animal down before they run to the neck for strangle. So you see the legs are actually on the sides, this side on the other side, and she's trying to bite on the back of the wildebeest to weaken. Then at the final, she's on the throat. She's actually trying to strangle. And also you see the position. She is very, very much away from the legs, because when the animal is dying or when the animal is being strangled, they always throw their legs. So they have to make sure that they are on the other side. They are very, very far from the legs. And you see this leg is actually holding between the between the horns and the eyes, and at the same time, the other leg is actually on the neck. So that is actually how the lions kill. Then another thing is, I'm actually having, another thing is, it's about the social behavior of the lions, whereby when the lions the lions also, sorry, my screen is hanging. The moment I accept people, it hang. Let me try to share. So, okay, Biju. So let me just say about social behavior of the lions. Most of the time, when you hear lions roaring, there is always a reason for that, whereby the lions roar for communication. For example, when one lion, for example, when this lioness hunted, she actually had to make a small roar to call the rest of the pride, because the females sometimes they go very, very far away from where the rest of the pride is for hunting. So the moment she hunt and the other lions are not aware that the female is out for hunting, she always have to roar to call the others. Then another thing, lions also roar for intimidation. They always roar to intimidate the enemies. So when they roar to intimidate, that is mostly for the male lion. When they are trying to roar in very, very loud roar, they intimidate the intruding male, the ones that are actually maybe coming to try to take over the territory. So the other lions of other territory can actually be able to know the size of the lion that is roaring, because the more masculine the lion is, the loudest the roar they can produce. So they can actually take caution before they reach to the territory if, for example, they want to take over that territory. Also, lions roar to show the social bond of the pride. For example, when the lions are trying, when they roar in chorus, like more than one lion roaring at a go, they actually, that is to show the social bond of the pride. So that is another reason why the lions do roar. Also, for example, the lions also roar, for example, when the female is actually calling for the cubs. She has to make a very vocal sound, whereby, for example, if she's out for hunting, she has to make a small sound, just you can't hear at a distance. That is actually, they have to roar to call for the cub. So that is another reason why the lions roar. And then also they roar to mark territory, as I said earlier. Then when the lions hunt, there is always a kind of communication. For example, for these three females, one actually brought down a wildebeest in Maasai Mara, and then she has to call the others. So when she called, actually what you have seen at the beginning of the video, you see these females, they are actually like greeting each other. They are rubbing the head, that is greetings, and also definitely to say thank you for getting food for us. So it is also a kind of communication. So most of the time when these female hunt, it actually take them time when they are resting, and then they start to eat. They don't kill and eat immediately. That normally happen with the leopard or with the cheetah, whereby the cheetahs, when they kill, they can eat very fast because of the number of enemies they have in the wild. but also they have like to breathe because of that small distance they have run. They use a lot of energy when they go that small distance while hunting. And then we also have, when these lions hunt, they have to call the whole pride. For example, when you see this male lion running, he's actually coming to feed, because the female hunt, you can actually hear the sound he's making. You can actually hear the sound he's making. He's trying to intimidate the females. So for those people that say when the female makes the kill, it is always the male that eat first, that is not true information. The true information is when the female hunt, it actually depends on the distance where the hunt have taken place to the rest of the pride. Because this female hunted, the whole pride was around. So it is these two females that have actually come and they started eating. When they started eating, the male had them, because the female had to call, or even the male was not very far, so he can actually hear the bones cracking or anything, so he had to come. So you can actually be able to hear he's just making some noise for intimidation, but the females are still eating with him. So if, for example, there were young male, they should have paved way. They should have actually moved a bit, because they know the male will harass them. But with female, they actually have to eat. All of them have to eat. So it depends on the distance of the kill from the rest of the pride. If, for example, the male is so mean, he can decide to fight with all these females and actually eat by himself. But remember, the female also defend each other, and sometimes even they defend young male when they are being harassed by big males. So because these females are many, they actually, the male is a bit worried. He cannot be able to harass these three fully grown up females, and they are actually from the same pride. So it is not always the male that start eating, the female can also start, but at the same time, it depends how mean the male is. He can definitely harass. So that is what happened. So this is the same thing with the communication rubbing. This is Scarface and Hunter. They are actually, they rub each other. For example, if it is female, they rub each other if they want to do a kill, or if they are hungry, or even if one female was, or one lion was in that side, the other one was there, they come and meet, they have to greet each other. So when this male do like this, maybe they want to move. They want to get up and move, or any other kind of communication between them. Then when the lion kill, you actually see this is a wall pride. So the moment the female, because it is this female where the mouse is actually killed a warthog, she was extremely tired. So she had to wait because she was breathing a lot. She had to wait so that she can eat. So the rest of the pride, they actually have to eat. They continue to eat. They don't have to wait for her. So they just continue to eat until if she gets something, yes, okay. If not, they finish. So this is actually one of the things that can tell you how this pride is. They actually form a very, very strong social bond, whereby if I kill, I cannot say you cannot eat. So she killed because she's the biggest female, and the rest have to eat. This is the cubs, her relatives, and all that, because that is what the pride is made of. And then also you see actually how she looked after all that blood. So sometimes you find the lions licking on their feet, or even lions licking each other. So after this kill, after eating, they have to get rest somewhere, and you find they are licking each other to try to clean. This cleaning actually helped them to reduce some bacteria infection and all that in their body. And then also lions also have enemies. As I told you, the lions of Nakuru National Park climb trees because of large number of buffaloes. You see how this lion is actually, she's running very fast. And this buffalo is like 2 times bigger than her. So this is, I really like this picture when I got it. It described a lot of information that a buffalo is one of the most dangerous of the big 5 because they can actually challenge the kings of jungle, that is the lions. Then we also have a lot of bird species in Maasai Mara National Reserve. We have around 450 species of birds. We have also a lot of raptors. We have vultures are there. Mostly when you go to Maasai Mara during migration, you can actually be able to see more than 5 species of vultures. Because we have around 7 species in the country, but there is one called a Magai vulture. They are actually found in Naivasha or in Mount Elgon, in places where they can get a lot of caves where they can use for nesting. So you can actually be able to get the Rupel griffon vulture, the white-backed vulture. There is also the white-headed vulture and all that. So you can actually be able to get a lot of them feeding during migration. So this is the bateleur eagle, the bateleur eagle. We also have the tawny eagle. You can actually get them in the area. And then we also have the black-shouldered kite. They are also found there. And then we have this pintail wader. They are found. We also have this the oxpeckers. We have both redbeak and yellowbeak oxpecker. They are very, very good animals when it comes to symbiotic benefit. When it comes to buffaloes and then giraffe and the oxpeckers, impalas and the oxpeckers, because they eat the ticks and actually reduce the diseases that caused by the ticks. So both parties benefit, the buffalo and the bird. They also eat the dandruffs in the skin of this animal, so they get food. And then we also have this eagle. This one is called the agua buzzard. It's not an eagle, it's a buzzard. And then we also have the African hooper. They are found in the area. We also have the southern ground hornbill, You can actually find them there. There are so many in the area. We also have Maasai ostrich. They are found in the Maasai Mara National Reserve. This is also the black-chested snake eagle. They are found in the area. Then we have this bird. It is called the rufous-tailed sparrow. Rufous-tailed sparrow. They are endemic to northern Tanzania, that is Serengeti, northern Serengeti, and Maasai Mara, mostly in the area that is very, very close to the border of Kenya and Tanzania. We have a small hill called the Lookout Hills. Guides know the area, and maybe some of you that have been to Maasai Mara, this is the area whereby you can find this bird. It is endemic to that place. That is in East Africa, or I can say endemic, it's a bird that you can only find in a specific area. So this one is endemic to northern Tanzania and that small part of Maasai Mara National Reserve. So they are very, very rare. It's difficult to see them. So when you visit Maasai Mara, if you are a bird watcher, you can actually tell your guide to try his best to show you this special bird. Then we also have photographic vehicles when you visit the area. I'm talking about Yes Safaris as a company, it's my company. So for photographers, for people with families, we have all very, very equipped vehicles whereby we can pick you from the airport and take you to any of the place that you want. Can also place the bin bags. They are very safe. We also provide camping safari, whereby we have the roof tent in the vehicles. If you don't want to stay in the hotels, you can actually take this car, the roof tent and all that. And then, so we also do picnic lunches. We also do sundowners, that is to the last day of the safari. We normally provide drinks to our clients. That is, I'm talking about myself as a tour operator or as a company. Those are the sundowner places. Then also we do bush breakfast, bush lunch in the wild. So these are some of my friends. One of them I know he's online, Mr. Rickard. Thank you so much. So that is all about the session of today. And before we finish, please enjoy this video. You can actually see it all the time you are home at this quarantine. So this is meant for all of you. Will quarantine wildlife take its place? So enjoy the video and thank you very much for joining. Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening. And I say welcome to Kenya after this pandemic. It is a great country and we welcome everyone. And thank you very